Welcome to another marvelous episode of College Football Showdown. I am the governor of college football, and with me, as always, is my co-pilot, Jalen Wilson. Jalen, week 5 is in the books, and what an amazing week it was. But before we recap a few games, let's switch it up this episode. We typically end with the AP Top 25 poll, but I believe in order to kind of convey how we're going to talk about this recap, let's start with the AP poll top 25. We're going to go from 25 to 15, and then we'll do 14 to 1. So at 25, UNLV, you sent me a funny message. I don't know if you care to share what the message was. Maybe you could PG-13 the message, but the message was pretty funny. Nino kind of sent me this same sentiments. You and him think a lot alike. At 24, we had Illinois. I was happy to see that Illinois was still in the top 25. I think they deserve to be in the top 25. Indiana at 23. Indiana is dangerous. Rutgers is also dangerous, but they both have to play some pretty decent teams. It wouldn't surprise me if either one of these teams ended up in the conference championship, and that would probably piss a lot of people off. At 22, Louisville really disappointed me this week. Louisville also messed up my parlay message. Really pissed me off this week. 21, Boise State. 20, Kansas State. Number 19, Oklahoma. Shout out to Oklahoma. Beautiful comeback that they had this past weekend. And number 18, Utah. Number 17, BYU. BYU had a scare against Baylor towards the end of that game, but they was able to hold them off. And number 16, Iowa State. Number 15, Clemson. Guess who's back? Back again. Dabo's back. Tell a friend. Number 14, Notre Dame. And we'll stop right there. All right, Jalen. So is there a team that isn't in the top 25 that you would like to see in the top 25? Or is there a team in this first thing that we kind of talk about that's probably a little bit too high, team too low? Talk to me.
I think for the most part they got it right. Like, I like the fact that Indiana's in there. Rutgers, I think, is a team that is in the top 25 that I could see a possibility of having a case. But yeah, I feel like for the most part, like it's not a bad list. I feel like it's fairly solid.
I can honestly probably say it's the best AP poll we've seen yet. As far as the rankings, I'm comfortable with it. D now says Army and Navy. I think both teams are 4-0. Start of the season, that's pretty good. But I want to kind of see how good they are once they both get into their core AAC play, the American Conference play. So that'd be interesting.
I'd like to see Iowa State higher than Clemson and Notre Dame.
Like to see Iowa State higher than Clemson and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I think there's a world that I live in that I'll see that.
Other than that, where you leave off in Notre Dame, okay. Utah's right there. Indiana.
Are we getting Cam Rising situation like 2.0? Like missed last week's game, missed this week's game. Like if you are a Utes fan, is there a reason to have some concern? Like, hey, are we going through this, all over again? Because if he plays, I'm sure it's a different game. This Arizona deserves consideration in our top 25.
I don't think so. Arizona performed underwhelming this season. So, like, yeah, they had a good one against Utah, but I feel like they've been underwhelming for the most part of this season so far.
In Salt Lake City, but yes, I will have to agree with you that they have had some underwhelming play. And I'm going to foreshadow a bit here, Jalen. We are going to talk about Big 12 slightly. I think we'll get to it. Now I know on Overreaction Monday we'll definitely be talking about the Big 12, but yeah, D now proposed a great question. He said, "Who will be the Big 12 champs?" And I'm wondering if he's saying he believes that Iowa State will be the Big 12
yeah,
champs.
that's actually what I was thinking. I was also.
You think of Iowa State? You think Matt Campbell? This is the year that Matt Campbell and company are able to kind of, hey, this is our year.
Yeah,
and we were saying that before the season. In all fairness.
It looked like Iowa State, maybe BYU, but
can BYU keep it up? Like,
they kind of lost the gas against Baylor, and I didn't like that, but I think they can keep it up. Will they is another question,
right?
But I think they can. And you look at other teams, Oklahoma State. Listen, y'all already done. Y'all are out. Y'all suck. Like, y'all are terrible, man. So disappointing.
Yeah, I was with you too as far as Oklahoma State, as far as their ceiling this year. The floor, I don't think we probably seen it the same, but I thought they had a high enough ceiling where things could be right. But just looking at them this past weekend, it's just like I'm not sure. I'm still holding out hope for Kansas State, but I don't know who will win the Big 12 because there's a couple teams I think that are just way better than advertised. BYU is better than advertised. Colorado, we've been very critical of Colorado this year, but after that UCF game, they opened my eyes a little bit. I'm like, now they got a tough schedule. They got a tough schedule coming up. But if they showed up the way that they showed up and they had the ability to run the rock, they're better than advertised.
Like I don't know, because Colorado, like, I feel like the last couple of weeks Colorado schedule where I'm like, okay, this might be where it's like the run ends.
K-State doesn't lose another game. By the way, Helmcat, K-State is my pick to win the Big 12. I'm going to stick with my pick. My initial pick was Arizona, and then I think I had something come to me right before the season started. I'm like, I'm going to go with Kansas State. So hopefully that is the case. But I think the Big 12, there's so much parity in the Big 12. It's kind of hard to just say, hey, this team is going to run the table just because I just feel like the parity is there, honestly, brother.
See, my pick was Oklahoma State, and they suck this season. So that's not happening.
I appreciate that, brother.
That's not happening.
So who would you pick for the Big 12 now? You said Iowa State.
Yeah, I think
Matt Campbell coming.
Yeah, I think after Saturday, I was like, it's probably Iowa State for me.
Yeah.
Like,
return of production is you kind of starting to see that, hey, you know, something's brewing, and I think we wanted this for years now for Iowa State. It just didn't happen, but something is truly brewing with Iowa State. So now let's talk about 14-1. I kind of mentioned Notre Dame, but I'll mention them too. Notre Dame at 14. LSU at 13, Ole Miss at 12. 11 is USC. 10 is Michigan. Number 9, Mizzou. Number 8, the U. Number 7, Penn State. I like the name Jalen called them the other day. Can't say it live, though. And number 6, Oregon. Number 5, Georgia. Number 4, Tennessee. Number 3, Ohio State. Number 2, Texas. Number 1, Roll Tide. I like seeing Alabama.
Alabama would be number 1.
I like seeing Alabama at 1, yeah.
Should that be number 1, though?
Yeah.
That second half that they had Warren number 1.
Yeah, but because it's one thing to have a meltdown. It's another thing to have a meltdown and respond to adversity. Because a lot of teams, when they have meltdown, you're like, oh, here we go. Is this going to be another, Buffalo, Houston, or when Houston, Texas jumped out to that huge lead against Kansas City in the playoffs a few years ago? Because a lot of teams, like, once it happens, it happens. But for, a 17-year-old kid to make the play that he played, Milroe made the throw that he made, and the defense was able to end the game, yes, they deserve to be number 1 just based on the team they played. Texas has played Michigan, but other than that.
But I feel like Texas have performed better in their games.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah.
So you think Texas is the best team in the country right now?
I mean, I feel like they're playing like it, yeah.
So, in your estimation, Texas is the best team in the country?
Well, I don't know about best team because Ohio State is really playing well also.
Ohio State is playing extremely well. But right now, based on what I've seen, even in some of the games, we're like, USF game was kind of – but, the way that Alabama came out that first half, I truly believe if they play like the way they played in the first half, I don't think there's a team in the country that can beat them. But, that's why you got to play 60 minutes of ball.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And Nick Saban, a lot of times, when you go from a coach to an analyst or a player to an analyst, like, because we're seeing Tom Brady, and many people I struggle a little bit, but I see what he's doing. It's not that he's struggling, it's that his knowledge is so vast of the game. He's trying to find a way to be relatable. You know how Tony Romo's kind of relatable, and to be able to give knowledge at the same time. Because he can't just start calling out all of these, all of these formations and stuff, and then people are not going to know what he's talking about. So I get the struggle there. But I think Nick Saban is doing a phenomenal job with making that conversion, because he was like, hey, what I'm telling my team at halftime is, hey, we got a great team in that locker room. Don't get comfortable. And that's exactly what happened. They got comfortable, and then Georgia was able to storm back in the second half. We'll talk more about that game later. But yes, right now, for my money, Alabama is the best team in the country. Texas fans, I apologize. I told y'all the Texas hate was over. Texas hate is over. It's just based on what I seen in that first half. I think Alabama is the best team in the country.
I don't know because I mean I ain't get Michigan.
Hola, mi amigos.
Georgia,
I got SC. What's happening, brother? How are you? Are you doing a great job with that Oregon show, by the way?
He is.
Yeah.
Georgia is a better team than Michigan, but I don't know the way I looked at like
Mm-hmm.
Now the Mississippi State game wasn't the prettiest that Texas just had.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, but their first SEC game, these games are theoretically all tough. Did you see what Steve Sarkisian said? And sometimes it's hard for me to kind of decipher, do coaches mean for the now, or do they mean for like the rest of the season? Because it's hard to differentiate between the now. Just Bama beat Georgia. Yeah, I feel you. My bad, I got sidetracked. So he was saying like, I'm not sure who started, but I didn't know if it was in regards to the game this week. Like, is he gonna put yours out there? Is he gonna wait, let him sit another week, or did he mean for the rest of the season? So I wasn't sure what he was saying, but I didn't see the entire statement. For full disclosure, it was just a piece that they were talking about on ESPN. You know, ESPN job is the build controversy, storyline, soundbite. I didn't hear the entire soundbite, but I was just saying I just didn't catch all of that. So Tennessee at 4. I know Tennessee is really the team you're really riding with in the SEC right now. What do you make of Kentucky? Because I seen South Carolina. This was in Kentucky. Put hands and feet on them. Then I see them. They should have beat Georgia, and then bro, after that game happened, bro, how mad I was. And then you put the Pete Golden contract. I'm like, bro, it's Lane Kiffin. How's it even Pete Golden, bro?
KT, man, that man let let a running back throw 240 yards on him. No, but listen, Brian Vander Griffin ain't a running back, but he for sure ain't no quarterback that I really expect to have 245 yards.
Right. And that's fair. But in the fall, the offense, I think, was the number 1 scoring offense in the country. Where was it?
Talking about Ole Miss or Kentucky?
Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Score 17 points. You know more scoring offense in the country.
Yeah. But Kentucky has a good defense.
Where's Jackson Dart at? Where's everybody at? Yeah. They have to. They have to. The whole Georgia to 13 points? Yeah. And then the whole Ole Miss to 17 points. Yeah, you would have to say that the defense is legitimate. How do you feel about Penn State? I need honest evaluation because I'm not overly impressed with Penn State. And I wasn't overly impressed with Penn State before the season. But after I seen what I seen Saturday, and you guys had ample opportunities, in my opinion.
I mean, they're good. They're better than last year, but I'm just waiting for them to lose again.
They little bruh.
Like, don't get me wrong, like Penn State is a better team than last season.
I agree with that.
I'm just waiting for them to lose. Like, I don't trust them. Like I'm waiting for that week to happen where it's like, like I don't know their schedule. Like I can't remember their schedule off top of my head, but it's going to probably play a elite team, and it's going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is the Penn State week where y'all just lose.
Yeah, like I agree with you. I'm gonna pull up Penn State schedule,
but better team than last season. I will say that they are a better team than last season.
Yeah, if I could make like a meme for James Franklin, bro, it would be like. We almost had him. Like it would be him going something like this.
Do you remember that commercial? It was like the dude that he was like a little fisher. He had the dollar. And it was like, oh, you almost got it.
Yeah. Gotta be quicker than that. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like that's James Franklin. So they got UCLA this upcoming week. They should be able to handle them.
Yeah, that should be a win.
They play at USC. That'd be a good measure game. And they play at Wisconsin. They get a bye before they play Wisconsin, Ohio State, Washington, and then Purdue.
Oh, dang! So they got actually
Minnesota, Maryland. So they got a favorable schedule, but when will it happen? Like I think me and you both are kind of watching. Like, when will it happen? So
I think they get past USC, honestly. Like
and SoCal.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think SoCal like USC ain't. Their fan base ain't like that.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not. I'm sure we can get credential for USC with no problem, bro. like seriously. So Miami at 8. How you feeling about Miami? I know we're gonna talk about Miami in a little greater detail later. You like them at 8?
Honestly, what's the other teams that's ahead on?
Oregon at 6.
I
Georgia.
would feel comfortable putting them above Oregon.
I wouldn't either.
No, I said I would.
You would? Oh, Ryan Williams is what we wanted Zachariah Branch to be. Whew. Mm. UCLA is ready for Matt
I
to
would
come to
honestly
San
put
Diego State.
Miami.
Facts.
I would put Miami above Penn State, Oregon,
Okay.
and that's about it.
Yeah, I'm not putting them over Georgia. Just yet. Georgia shows some heart. I know a lot of Georgia fans were critical of Carson Beck. I talked to quite a few Georgia fans after the game, and they said, "Oh no, we don't like this Carson Beck kid." I'm like, all right, I say at the closing of every show that I'm on, no more victories, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes there are more victories because you can take a tidbit from a puzzle, right? And you be like, it's a piece that it doesn't fit now, but maybe it'll fit the storyline later. Because I tell you what, Alabama better pray if they get to the conference championship, then they're not playing Georgia. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But I'm not sure if I just wonder how things look for Georgia after this week. How do they regroup? Because they're in a tough area, as far as Athens, and of course they got Atlanta support. But people gonna be very critical of Carson Beck. Is that what you're seeing a lot this week as well?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of criticism, and I honestly I think some of it is well deserved.
You think some of it is warranted?
I mean, you went out and played a good half and a bad half.
Yeah, I mean it's a raucous environment. I mean, this is only his second season, but yeah, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He did throw for 439 yards,
Yeah.
but I feel it.
Yeah, he had a 50-50 game. Like, now I guess you can. Now I can see where you say it was more good than bad. Especially
Right.
with them leading, especially with him being like the main catalyst for that comeback in the second half, and him performing so well, and looking so much more poised in that second half when he could have just really collapsed.
Right. And then you thinking about after that time you think about, okay, well, let's sit him and let's get the backups in. So kudos to Kirby Smart for believing his team actually had a chance. He's sticking with Carson Beck after a tumultuous half, really.
But I ain't gonna say I'd be like, oh yeah, you shouldn't criticize Carson Beck. I mean, at the same time, his 3 interceptions was at least 3 interceptions, if I'm not mistaken, were costly because 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken, led to points. Especially, I think the first one led to like a Jalen Milroe touchdown, if I'm not mistaken, or a field goal, 1 or 2, because it was in like Alabama territory.
And who do Georgia have next? So they have they have Auburn in week 6.
Or my bad, it was in Georgia's own territory when he threw that pick.
Yeah,
it was like wide receiver screen.
Yeah, they got Auburn at home, and they play Mississippi State at home, and then they got to play at Texas, bro. Then they got Florida, Georgia. Then they got to go to Ole Miss. So it's not like things are going to get super easy for them all of a sudden. They got 2 weeks where they should be able to regroup, but then after that they got a slate of like 3 tough games.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
If Ole Miss was to like lose to like South Carolina, do you think that will like kind of knock them out the playoffs? And this South Carolina game is like what, the 19th, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm like they don't also. I think they'll beat South Carolina, but I'm like it's a chance. I think South Carolina could pull off upset.
Are they 9-3? 8-4.
If they're 9-3 and one loss to come to like Georgia, then and now definitely put them on the playoffs. But
I think they got a chance for 9-3. I know we're not talking about it on tonight's show. Did you see that Big Ten commissioner, SEC's commissioner are meeting?
I saw that.
Yeah, annual scheduled game. So we need to talk about some topics, man. I would love to talk about some topics, but all in all,
did you see the Boise State DB did the same thing UNLV quarterback did?
Really? No, I missed that. You got to tell me what happened, bro.
He played a couple games this season and now he's entering the portal, redshirting for the rest of the season. So
is it due to monies?
I don't know. Like I
Or
didn't
was it
really
playing
watch.
time? Wow.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like, so this is like kind of Pandora's box, not
Yeah.
where it might
Oh
not
yeah.
just be ideal, but where it might use playing time as well.
This isn't the new norm. I mean, Kenshawn Junkins totally did that last year. The only difference is he got paid and then he said adios. You know what I'm saying? Like he was out of there.
Yeah. I don't know if it was because money or playing time, but it's definitely like it's like the UNLV situation kind of opened up a door box for like these players
Right.
to be like, hey,
It
I ain't
did.
getting enough playing
It
time. I
did.
can just enter
Right.
transfer portal, sit out after
These
4 games,
people
3 games.
promised me verbally, this X amount, but this is what I'm really getting. But you kind of got to learn from the Jaden Rashada situation. Texas
Yeah,
beat Georgia, though they become number one, right? Yeah. If they're
yeah.
able to continue to handle business, absolutely. If Texas beat Georgia, they do become number one. I don't think many people argue with you on that.
Honestly,
So
Alabama might be number 3 right now.
let's go around the nation with some box score reactions. Kentucky stun Ole
Okay,
Miss 20-17 in Oxford.
Kentucky's done. I was happy.
I know
I
you
was.
were.
Oh yeah, I was happy. I was happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, dang, I wish their defense performed a lot worse than what they actually did.
I
Uh,
know. I know because I knew the angle you were gonna. Nah,
oh
nah.
man,
Ohio State defeats Michigan State 38-7.
not surprising. Uh, I'm not surprised at all. Honestly, I didn't watch a minute of this game. I watched like clips on Twitter and YouTube. Just like,
it was much better games on during the time slots.
yeah. Andrew, I think was on Peacock. I hate watching games on Peacock, so that's
You
awesome.
you what for one, I won't say that aloud. For two, I couldn't even watch Notre Dame and Louisville. Uh, so I was pretty upset about that on my YouTube TV. I love YouTube TV. I get to watch. They ain't even paying for this. I ain't talking about them no more. If y'all want me to talk about how great the experience is, show us the money. Arizona defeats Utah 23-10 in Salt Lake City without Cam Rising.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
Like I knew the offense was going to be like the biggest difference in this game for me. Like I knew I could trust Arizona's offense more than I can trust Utah's offense. What that super chat say, or not super chat, but that chat.
That moment of silence. Everybody got it. You know what I'm saying? You got it because you laughed, and then the moment of silence. Absolutely. All right, Kansas State, this Jekyll and Hyde act, man. They dominated Oklahoma State 42-20.
Oklahoma State, your season's done. Kansas State, your season's still alive.
You're not saying Oklahoma State has been mathematically eliminated from the playoff in week
what are you
5.
talking about? They've been that. They must have eliminated on Saturday. Oh my gosh, they're done. They're done for real. Like they would need a comeback for the ages to make it to the playoffs. Like they would need to get lucky because they would need other teams to lose ahead of them, and they need to keep winning. And honestly, both things probably ain't finna happen. So, because I've watched that team is not that good.
What do we do about Ollie Gordon leading Russia to Hey, Ollie Gordon got to be studied. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
honestly, I feel like a lot of his offensive line.
Yeah.
I honestly felt like a lot of his offensive line.
They returned an immense amount of production, bro.
Like, they had, but they just aren't performing well.
Yeah, it's not translating. It's some of it on quarterback play. Whoa, D-Now is. Hey, D-Now, we should get warmed up for overreaction, bro. He said 5th rounder.
Who are you talking about? Ollie Gordon? I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't be mad getting him in the 5th round if I'm a GM.
Yeah, not at all.
If I got a good old line, I'll be fine.
SC asks, is it concerning that Tessa McMillan has been hit or miss? I think that's what you're talking about. You talking about T-Back. Is it concerning that he's been hit or miss?
It is, but at the same time, I feel like Arizona this season has been like hit or miss.
Right.
So.
Yeah, they have been, but he commands a lot of attention. But you still got to play through adversity. Yes, D-Now's 100% warmed up. All right, Jay, let's continue. Colorado dominates UCF 48-21. I watched a lot of this game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed the pick Travis Hunter made. Then he hit the Heisman pose. Like, do you know how great of a play that was? Did you see it?
Yeah,
like, I'm not even talking about the catch. I'm just saying
how he like got the depth
Yeah,
on the,
because
on the corner.
he was in
Then
pause. He was in a soft squat. You know that's what he was playing. That's pause, bro.
I was like,
100% it is. So he's in a soft squat. So that flap isn't even technically what he was supposed to be playing, right?
yeah,
It was just like it was like a cloud, right?
yeah.
So if you get there, you get there to make the tackle. You don't get there and make a play on the goddamn ball. And he got there and made a play on the ball because he was watching. I forgot what route the receiver ran, but he was watching the cloud and then and caught that jump. And then he hit a vicious Heisman pose after it, bro.
Yeah, I
So
mean, shout out to
mhm.
Colorado. Y'all, they were 4-1 now. Proving me wrong so far this season. So shout out to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, they've been proving me wrong as well. As he asked a great question, I'm going to ask you this question as well. Is Travis Hunter 1.01 in the NFL draft? Starting to see mocks where he is. At what position?
See, that's the thing. Like,
Because I
I
know
feel like
some people think he's a corner.
yeah.
I think he's more of a wide receiver.
But I watched Nightcap this Saturday. It was a Saturday or Sunday night. One or two. I don't know if it was actually Saturday or Sunday night. Ocho and Shannon was having like a discussion and everything about
What
like
was the debate?
it was like Travis
Also,
Hunter wide receiver.
Richard Sherman, you a hater, bro. I had to get that off my chest. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was like wide receiver DB, which one Travis Hunter, and Ocho was like, I think Ocho was saying wide receiver. I think Shannon was like DB. I was just like, I could see both cases. Cause Shannon was like, well, I ain't seen him run a comeback, and then he mentioned like his release packaging and all that and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, that's a good point.
Hey, bro, listen. I'm getting sick of these old heads, bro. I ain't gonna lie, dog. I'm starting to feel like some of it is hate, bro. Like Richard Sherman called him bland as a wide receiver. Like Buddy's been averaging and still is averaging over 100 yards a game. I know it's at the collegiate level. What Charles Woodson was doing was packages. What Deion Sanders was doing was packages. He's actually played. What he play 130 plus snaps? Like this is unheard of. This is unprecedented. He is, in my opinion, equally good at both. So when people are starting to talk about, oh well, I don't know. I just feel like it's hate, bro. Am I wrong to feel that way? I feel like it's hate, dog.
I feel like some of it is just fair. Just what people think, like, because everybody thinks different. Not everybody gonna think like it's like, oh, like he's equal at both positions. Somebody gonna think he's different. Like somebody might think he's playing like Richard Sherman.
I mean, but you know, we like to talk about route running, but Randy Moss ran what? Granted, Travis Hunter ain't Randy Moss, but we run 3 routes. You feel me? Like I think sometimes we over obsess. Sometimes I think we over analyze. Man, this kid is an athlete, young. You draft him, he's automatically the best athlete on your effing team, dude.
But like I just don't feel comfortable. If I'm a team, I don't feel 100% comfortable. Depending on what I need, drop him at number 1 because I don't feel like he's polished at either position. I feel like he's good at both.
What wide receivers in college football, in your estimation, are playing better than him right now? Trey Harris, I give you.
Yeah, I was thinking about Trey Harris.
Even in a bad game, Trey Harris was balling. But like we believe in the Luther Burden ceiling, but is he honestly playing better than Travis Hunter right now?
I don't think so. Like I don't think T-Mac is playing better now.
What about Tessa or McMillan? So when you start going down a list of wide receivers who's really balling out right now, Ryan Williams. Yes. Ryan Williams for sure. Jeremiah Smith.
I will honestly take Jeremiah Smith over.
Based on potential or based on production right now?
I think some of it's like potential just because that's what it is in my mind also.
For sure. Same thing with Cam Coleman. I think he has an immense amount of potential if he just has some.
No. I'm definitely taking Travis Hunter over Cam Coleman.
Okay.
Also, like situations also matter. Like I feel like
2025 SC.
Like situations also matter.
I think it does.
I feel like Travis Hunter's in a better situation than some other wide receivers when it comes to like passing the ball and offenses. But
that's a great question.
T-Mac.
Sanders is better because Hunter is on the field, or is Hunter good because Sanders is his quarterback?
I feel like it's equal.
Yeah, I think
right?
it is. Yeah, I think they both equally benefit.
Like I feel like no matter what Shador's going to be good. Now, does
Mhm.
he benefit off Travis Hunter? Yes.
Absolutely.
Um, does Travis Hunter benefit off Shador? Yes. But is he going to be good regardless? Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if you ask me, oh yeah, you really got to choose one. I guess I'll choose Travis and making Shador better because I feel like
Yeah.
Travis is just that much of a superior athlete at the
Yeah,
collegiate level where he can
he
make
is. And
where like
his ball skills are phenomenal too, bro.
yeah.
Natural pass catcher. Penn State defeats Illinois. You know, typically I would have went with a full
We
lead.
can't run the ball, KT. We can't
Yeah,
run the ball. We can't stop the
yeah,
run.
I knew it's not something you wanted to go in great detail about.
We couldn't stop the run. We can't run the ball.
I think that's fair.
Goodness gracious. Holy Lord.
Standards is
Penn
better
State,
because
y'all
of how much
overrated. I
stop it
don't
at
care what
home.
I said. Penn State, y'all overrated.
I agree with you 100%. 100%. So that's the rundown. Let's get into a couple of these here
Hold on,
games.
KT. Did we touch on the Wisconsin game?
Um,
I
did
don't
we?
think we did.
Did I skip that one?
That was what USC Wisconsin?
Yeah, I don't think that one was on the list. But yeah, you can
Uh,
talk about it though.
well, I just wanted to mention Braylon Allen. He had like a tweet that said something like I can't wait to go on the podcast basically and tell y'all about my last season at Wisconsin. I was like, oh.
I mean, he's already having better production in the NFL, bro, than his last season at Wisconsin. Is he like the Jets feature back now? I don't keep up with
I think
fantasy.
he is, yeah.
I've
I
never,
think
I've
he is.
never, I've never been a huge fantasy guy. Jalen is the same way. We're both eye test guys. We watch the games.
Although I love to be in a fantasy league again. Fantasy is kind of fun.
Really? Okay. I will probably enjoy a college football one. I wouldn't enjoy another NFL one. But
Oh hell no! I'll be
yeah.
mad college football. You dropped the Ollie Gore number one. Next thing
Yeah.
you know, 2.8 yards per
Hey
carry.
yo, we got to talk you off the ledge, bro. You feel me? Like imagine.
We've got Ashton Jitchy in the second round getting the
Right,
steal.
right. That's wild. So let's
Braylon Allen said, "Hold on, my fault."
mm,
Braylon
mm.
Allen said, "I'm gonna hold my tongue for now, but y'all gonna see me on a podcast one day explaining exactly what was going on my last season there." 2 laughing emojis,
I
and then
guarantee.
he retweeted before that had hashtag Bring Back the Power. The Power I
Wow.
was like, ooh.
Wow. That that is very, very telling. Bring back the power.
Bring Back the Power I. My fault. Yeah, Bring Back the Power I.
Yeah, I mean that's what he went there for. 100%. So uh yeah, that's wild. That's super wild. Hey, so like what did you get from that tweet?
that man did not really enjoy Luke Fickell in his one season there. And if there's enough outrage, Wisconsin might go back to that power I. Like if it has to be enough outrage from the fan base and the former players. And it has to be enough terribleness from the Wisconsin football team. And right now it has been. So
well, looking at this situation, right? I feel like it was very telling. Like I think about Luke
when you had
Fickell.
talks about them. When you had
Yeah,
talks about
yeah,
them.
yeah. I look at Luke Fickell. Do you think some promises may have been made? Like, hey, we're going to change the offense, but not too much. We're going to make sure you're still comfortable because that's not what we've seen out of Wisconsin. But you know what this situation remind me of? It remind me of Zach Arnett and the promises that were made to Will Rogers and Will Rogers' family about the system isn't going to change. We're going to make sure we keep things the way Mike Leach wanted. Granted, all of the onus isn't on Zach Arnett because the minute he tried to bring Mike right over from Vandy, they should have knew something was wrong. Like the Rogers family should have been like, "Whoa, what is this guy doing here?" You feel me? But so it was very telling. So I would love to see Braylon Allen go on a podcast and really tell his truths. And I'm sure there was a couple things that he were told that in retrospect didn't happen. But let's talk about this Virginia Tech and Miami game. Absolute slugfest in Coral Gables Friday night with Miami holding on, winning 38-34. And before I ask you your takeaway, Jalen, I want to officially say that Virginia Tech, in my estimation, was robbed and should have won the game. Jalen, what were your thoughts?
On the last play or on the game?
I just on on the last play.
I
I,
thought.
I
Okay,
feel like
here's
I
my
feel like
thought.
ACC officials had Jim Phillips in their ear, like Miami need to win. Virginia Tech, no. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
man,
yeah.
I feel like this.
Hmm.
I'm not too sure. I'm not 100% confident it was a catch,
Okay,
but it was ruled a catch on the field,
that's where I'm at.
and I don't think it was enough to overturn it in the replay booth.
That's where I'm at.
So I think it was technically a catch, and it should have been confirmed that he caught
Mhm.
the ball, or the play
Absolutely.
should have stood, or stands, whatever.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, that's like me and my dad was in there watching the game,
Hmm.
in the front room, and I was like, that's a catch, and I was like, no, it was like, like at first I thought they called it an interception because Miami player got up. I'm like, then it
Hmm.
was like, oh no, they called it a touchdown. I'm like, oh. Then they said we got to go to the replay booth, and then there's a whole bunch of replays. I'm like, it's not clear if he 100% got it, but it's not clear that he doesn't have it all the way. Especially when he makes contact with the ground. I'm like, I'm like, I'm like, I'm like, you need like, if I'm not mistaken, don't you need like definitive
Yeah,
evidence that he didn't
yeah, you
have the
do.
ball? I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm like, I don't think it's definitive evidence. I'm like, I think they got to stand.
Hmm.
Like I think it should have been a catch. I think it should have been a Virginia Tech win.
I think so as well. But I will say this: you were up 10. Granted, 10 points isn't a large lead in college football, but with 12 minutes left, being up 10, you have to close out that game. It shouldn't even have came down to the Hail Murray. We seen an uncharacteristic Cam Ward. Granted, he performed pretty well, but he also had some turnovers. Robbie Tedford hook him. Yeah, man, Texas is looking really good. But yeah, so I thought that even with that, I felt like Virginia Tech had opportunities to put the game away a little bit earlier. They missed on those opportunities, but you called it a catch on the field. Did you see enough based on the video evidence we was given that hey, that should be overturned? I did not think we saw enough, and I just feel like the ACC officials just they struck again.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is. I mean, this is a choke job by Virginia Tech, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
they
I
should
agree.
have had this. Should have had this.
It would have been a huge win for the program. It would have
Yeah,
been a
and
huge win for
and
recruiting.
would they have been when they start? Was that their first? They won their first ACC game. Right?
They played Rutgers last week. They played ODU 1 week. They
They played
played Vandy.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
would have been a huge start off because like you are struggling the season. So
Right. So you need to check because I thought that hey, if they had a chance, where I predicted them preseason, I thought they had to go on a string of wins, but
mhm.
a win like that is so demoralizing. It wouldn't surprise me very soon if Tyler Bowen gets the axe, even though the offense played much better in that game. And I thought it would be a close game. I really did think that heading into the game. But at the end of the day, that's why you need to handle business so the refs don't handle business for you. Anything else you want to add to this game, or with Miami? Do you feel like Miami's time is coming? You feel like a lose is around the corner? I'm sorry, a loss is around the corner.
I feel like the ACC is Miami's to lose. Like,
Really? Still,
that they should be here. Like,
you don't think Clemson has closed the gap?
no,
No.
I'm still skeptical on Clemson. I'm not.
You just based on some of the things you
Don't get me wrong,
saw.
they play better since week one.
Yeah, yeah, they have for sure.
I'm just so scared to trust Clemson and Dabo that
I really can't blame you in that regard. Uh, honestly. All right, so we kind of talked about this a little bit in the opening. We're gonna talk about this here. Georgia and Alabama played in the game to remember. It was an instant classic. Alabama took a huge lead in the first half, and Georgia came storming back in the second half. Ultimately, freshman wide receiver Ryan Williams made a play that sealed the deal for the Roll Tide, winning 41-34. 5 weeks before we get to this next part, Jalen, what was your takeaways from this game? I know we talked about it a little bit already, but it met billing. How hard was it to watch? Because I know Illinois and Penn State were playing at the same time. How much did you keep up with it? Was there a certain point you was like, I'm done with this Penn State game?
yeah,
I'm watching this
halftime.
Alabama game. Really?
Yeah, it has on. I was done. When we missed that field goal before halftime, and we got the intentional grounding penalty. We started off first and goal at the 2, then it went to like second and goal at the freaking 13 because we
Uh-huh.
had a bad snap. I was like, I'm done with this team. Um, I I mean, after that job, I watched like 2 drives of the rest of the Illinois game. So I was like, this is like, and I think one was like when we went to for it on fourth down before, I think it was the fourth quarter, and I was like, well, they get the ball back, they're finna run it down our throats. OMG, LOL. I think I texted that in the group chat. Not in our group chat, but in the Illinois group chat. And dude was like, oh, here comes the negativity. Well, buddy, watch the game. I've been watching them run down our dang throats all dang game. But yeah,
Wow.
shout out to Alabama and Georgia
Is
for
that what they said in your group chat? Well, here comes the negativity.
yeah.
That's
Like, okay,
funny, bro.
buddy. 5.7 yards per carry by both running backs. Oh, but yeah, shout out to Alabama and Georgia for giving us a classic. Maybe turn off that dang game where Penn State was shoving the water hose down our dang throat with the water on.
Mhm.
Uh, Carson Beck started out like it was. We saw Georgia from the
Mhm.
Kentucky game in the first half. Then we saw like the Georgia from the past 3 seasons in the second half. Um, but does that second half not concern you for Alabama? Like,
Um,
is it something like
it concerns me if they lose. In a win, you're able to appreciate the win. Hey, we won. We saw a resilient Georgia team, and at the moment, it looks like Georgia was able to win this game. You was able to win it, but as a coach and a coach that I believe that Kalen DeBoer is, it's a learning vehicle. It's 100% a learning vehicle. You know, did they make the proper adjustments at halftime? Did they, I'm not saying that they went at halftime and lollygag, but did they look and say, hey, we had some opportunities towards the end of the half we didn't execute on. Like, what's the plan of attack for the second half? Like, I feel like you learn more as a coach in those situations than you learn as a player, if that makes sense.
yeah?
So I no, it doesn't concern me probably as much as it will concern other people, just because of the worker that Kalen DeBoer is. It doesn't concern me much at all.
Um, thought Ryan Williams was good that game. Thought Milroe was good that game. But yeah, Georgia came out in the second half and was like vintage Georgia. Like they shut down Jalen Milroe in the second half. Shut down Alabama offense. And I think what Alabama outside that touchdown by Ryan Williams had 6 points. I think in the second half. Maybe it was 3 points. Um, but yeah, I was impressed by Alabama though.
Mm-hmm.
And I was somewhat impressed by Carson Beck. I'm like, yeah, it was resilient. Like I told you, me and my dad was having a conversation before the game. Like he was like, well, what's Carson Beck? Is he like good? Is he like
Mm-hmm.
really that good? And I'm like, he was like, so is he a game manager? I was like, he's a little bit better than a game manager,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I don't feel like he shows you. He doesn't show you what Shador can. What a Kim Ward can do.
Ooh. I don't agree with that, but I like it. People are saying Milrose's QB1 of 2025 now. True or false? I think it's
Oh, so you talking about this upcoming draft?
yeah, yeah. Uh,
I don't agree with that at all.
I think Cam Ward is going to do really well with the draft process. I think teams are going to fall in love with him. Not that teams won't fall in love with Jalen Milroe.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. We've seen now Cam Ward do it at Washington State. We see him kind of be the saving grace for Miami as of now. And he's such a likable guy. Like if you meet this gentleman in person, you just know the type of man he is, how his parents raised him. Uh, so for right now, it's kind of tough. People saying Milroe #1 right now. I get it, but
I don't see it.
in my
Honestly.
in my estimation, I would have Shador above Milroe, but I would have Cam Ward probably above them both. And then Quinn Ewers is a wild card, but I think that injury thing is going to be something that kind of scare NFL teams, especially when you got somebody like JJ McCarthy who looked really good in preseason and is not playing a snap in the regular season, even though Minnesota is undefeated.
Yeah.
All right, Jalen, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Let's get into our next segment. So here, yeah, I think it's
Is this
good.
the last segment? Did I
Yeah,
not look at this? Okay.
yeah, it's the last segment. Did I miss some?
No. I don't think
Hard
you
to say.
did.
I'm
For some reason, I
famous.
just forgot the question.
I'm
Like,
famous for it. Yeah, I agree. People definitely underestimate Cam Ward's work ethic. Like seeing him at ACC media days, like me and Jalen both seeing him. I know Jalen had an opportunity to speak with him as well. He's a phenomenal dude, man. He's really incredible. Teams are going to fall in love with him, and I'm praying, even though he doesn't need to, and I doubt that he does. But I think the Senior Bowl would be phenomenal for him. But I doubt he goes though. All right, Jalen, what teams as of now, 5 weeks in,
oh yeah. Okay, yeah. This question.
five
Yeah.
5 weeks in, what teams in your estimation? Give me two or three teams that you feel like right now, based on the intel that you have, the information that you have, you'd be like, you know what? I think this team or teams can make a deep playoff run.
Ohio State, Texas, and Alabama.
You was hesitant on Alabama, but you said Ohio State and Texas. You think this is Ohio State year?
Yeah, I had Oregon ahead of them,
Yeah,
but
but I know that's changed with in your estimation, lackluster
yeah,
play from Dylan Gabriel. So Ohio.
and lackluster play calling from Will Stein. Holy Lord, his play calling is not good. It doesn't help out Dylan Gabriel at all sometimes.
Okay, I like that you said that. I don't know if Ohio State, even though they're better than them, I don't know if Ohio State beat Michigan. I really don't know that. I really don't know that. I'm just saying, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Illinois go work Michigan, and so is Ohio State.
yeah. Rule number one: don't trust Alabama quarterbacks. Rule number two: don't forget rule number one. um,
Yeah, so I
but
think Illinois gonna beat Michigan. I think Ohio State gonna whoop
you
Michigan.
think Ohio State gonna whoop Michigan?
Yeah, a team that can't pass the ball is not good. It's not all that great.
Right, right. But how great they passed the ball down the stretch last year. But so Texas, Bama, and Ohio State, those are the three teams that you feel like can make a deep playoff run.
Yeah.
So you feel like a team like a Mizzou can make the playoff, just not make a deep run.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And SC was thinking kind of what I'm thinking.
Depending on where Ole Miss land, I guess
Mhm.
potentially.
You still think they're a playoff team after the Kentucky loss?
Yeah, like I still think that they will get in because I think they'll win out for the rest of the season. Maybe except for the Georgia game, would be like the only question. So, but
I think they'll beat Georgia.
wouldn't surprise me.
So what about a team like
Also,
Notre?
wouldn't surprise me if they drop a like another game on an accident.
Okay.
Just mess around and lose.
What about a team like Notre Dame? You think Notre Dame can make the playoffs?
Heck,
Even
yeah, I
with
mean they
that ugly,
can.
ugly
They
NIU
probably
loss?
won't listen. A Notre Dame is bound to just Notre Dame it, so they're just bound to lose at one point. And if they do make it to playoffs, so again, they're bound to Notre Dame it, so they'll get blown out. Because that's what Notre Dame does when they make it to a big postseason game. They suck.
They Notre Dame it, right? Right. We get all types of stories and lies, like the bad Tateo situation, man. That is interesting. So three teams you have that can make a deep playoff run. What about a team that can make the playoff and probably win a game? Is Clemson one of those teams? Is Miami one of those teams?
Miami is one of those teams. Actually, I can kind of see Miami making like a deep playoff run. But it's hard to describe it because the playoff run is literally it's two games. You got to win two games to make a deep playoff run, I guess. Because you only get it's 3 rounds in a championship game. Yeah, so like Miami, I could see them being the top 14, but I could also see them just winning the game and getting out. Same thing with the Ole Miss, same thing with the Georgia, same thing with the Oregon. Some of it's just gonna be matchup reliant. Some of it I feel like it's gonna be matchup reliant. So
that's crazy, man. Fun episode as always, Jalen. We're gonna talk behind the scenes and see what we're gonna talk about Thursday, but I would love a couple more topics. Maybe we preview like 2 games and do like a like fast track, like 2 of them, like 2 quick. You know what I'm saying? But I
Yeah.
want to do like 1 or 2 topics this upcoming Thursday. I know we did one last week, but I want to do another one, man. Anything else you want to add? Your channel's been going crazy. I think you should definitely talk about that.
Oh yeah, just released a video on there. Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been doing good. I was actually surprised. Like I said, like I mean, I told
Mm-hmm.
you the first night it really doing really well. Second night it really doing like crazy numbers. Either I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully it do get past it, and it did eventually. But yeah, go check out my channel, just Jalen, on YouTube. So yeah, I think that's almost about it. Like, ain't much
Yeah.
going on. Like, you saw the Kimmy Mutombo passed away, RP.
Yeah, yeah. RP the Kim Matumbo. I actually got that news earlier.
I feel like something else happened. Oh, Purdue fired their offensive coordinator last night.
I got it. I like a lot too.
AKT, you think
Graham
Mike Norvell makes it to next
Graham
season?
Graham Harrell. I think about that pass to Michael Crabtree, Texas Tech. Yeah, yeah. I
Honestly,
don't.
I don't know how they did
Why?
a
Why
full
was that?
180
Why?
on Mike
Why is
Norvell after
that?
a whole year.
Why?
Makes no sense, but
Why is that a discussion?
I don't know
Because
because Florida State fans are
Boomer.
crybabies. That's why.
I've seen Boomer say the same thing. If not Norvell, do you remember what life was like?
Willie Taggart.
Yeah, yeah. Like okay, you get rid of Norvell. What's your plan? Because I tell you what, Norvell gets fired, he has a job the next day, and not a
KT,
lot
they're
of
probably
coaches get
thinking, well,
fired.
Coach Prime, if he wins 6 games,
Coach Prime going where?
they ask gonna be hollering Coach Prime.
Why would he go there? If they
I
just
don't
fired
know.
a coach who went undefeated the year before, what would he go there for? Why would he do that?
Mm,
I'm saying, bro, a lot of these Florida schools, bro, I don't really deem them as like the hotbeds that they used to be as far as like a coaching job. Like, if I'm a
they're
coach,
not.
I'm not touching that Florida job. If I'm a coach, if Mike Norvell gets fired after 13, I don't give a damn how many games Florida State. I don't care if they. I mean, if they're not bowl eligible, he might get fired. I ain't gonna lie. It
And they
ain't
might not
looking
be bowl
good.
eligible, but they like got
Ain't
smoked
looking
by
good,
SMU.
dog. It ain't looking good, man. All these kids from Florida will go to Tallahassee. If Coach Prime went
Or they go
there,
to Illinois.
hey, that's probably true now. But I'm not just sure. Like, you know, with what coach comes with Coach Prime, it seems sometimes just a media circus, attacks, sometimes a lack of discipline, not only from him with not doing in-home visits, but also from the players at times. You know, they look really good right now, so I'm not hating no Coach Prime at all. But I'm not sure if that's the destination from him. Whereas a Colorado, he could not win another game this year, and he'll still he would get fired. I don't think he get
Could it
fired
be
at all.
like, Fran Brown, which I don't think it'd be Fran Brown. But I saw
Mhm.
Florida fans toss out them discussions. So Fran Brown this, Fran Brown. Like, he's only been at Syracuse for a year. That's crazy.
Wow.
Um
They want Georgia. They want to be Georgia so bad, don't they? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. That's
Yeah,
real crazy.
I don't think Florida and Florida State are the hotbeds that they
Yeah.
once were.
Not, not
Recruiting
it's not.
wise, yes,
Now,
but
I think life in Tallahassee is easier than life in Gainesville.
oh yeah, I do too.
I will admit that, and even though because Gainesville, they've been able to recruit there, but it's just like, Billy Napier is coaching for his life. You guys already made it public. Like, imagine like at home with your family, your kids, you eating food, you're having a good time. Oh, the boosters met today. Nobody called me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all got enough money to get rid of me, huh? Like, just imagine seeing that. You looking at your wife looking at you. She looks sad. Like, are we gonna have to move again? So much goes into that we don't talk about. But that's crazy, dog. Depends if Florida State goes to the Big 12. That's chalk. That's a good point. I hear that the SEC isn't as interested as Florida State was in the SEC, but the Big 12, Brett Yarmark, my
The
fa-
SEC doesn't need Florida State.
my
That's the
my
thing.
my favorite commissioner. They don't. But Brett Yormark is truly building something special. And it's in a multitude of sports as well. It's not just football. So yeah, Brett Yormark is open for business. He's 100% open for business.
I think that's about it. I mean, Cat Carr Towns got traded. That was cool.
Now, what do you think about that trade? Because I like the trade, but I didn't like them sending
it-
DiVincenzo because I thought
well, I
he
don't know if you saw it, but D'Angelo was unhappy with his.
he was unhappy. I read that as well. But DiVincenzo, you had the Villanova. He didn't want to play in a
Yeah,
reduced role.
but I
I
was
like the
just.
Knicks. I like
Yeah, it didn't make sense for the Timberwolves, but it made sense. Like I don't like the Julius Randle fit, but financially it makes sense because of the whole new CBA, which is terrible.
Mhm.
Um,
What is it
I mean,
called?
they
Like
should talk
a second,
second apron, yeah.
yeah, second apron, yeah.
Which if you're a repeat offender, like
Mhm.
you can't basically buy out
Yeah,
players you can't go after.
yeah, because the
You can't really
luxury
trade.
tax was BS. Because if you had the money, you didn't care about paying the luxury tax if
Yeah.
you're going to get the top players.
Which the Celtics, what I know people
Mm.
Celtics fans are like, oh man, this might be the last ride. Like, listen, if the Celtics go back to back, you can for sure think that they're
Whoa,
with 3P, that they as go try to go for the 3P. So,
whoa, whoa! We gotta talk about this, Jalen.
what
I was about to hit the outro, but we gotta talk about this.
what they say?
Should college football allow trades during the season?
I mean, she was already free agency, right?
What can you trade for? Because you do gotta sign the all right, let's go over the logistics. You do gotta sign the letter of intent,
Ohio
right?
State go to see. Yeah, it
I
is.
mean, what do you get trade for? Like, can you get trade for cash considerations? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, we
Like,
gonna trade you for this future recruit and this future recruit.
right, and we ain't got no salary cap, so you just gonna accept it. Like, what are you like? What are you trading for? Like, what are you? What are you?
Oh, but they could be like Jeremiah's been traded for a 2025 5-star,
Hey, bro,
2026 5
bro,
star.
Ollie Gordon on the block right now. If you can trade Ollie Gordon on the block, bro.
Oh
Hey
man,
man,
they are
that's
saying like,
crazy.
oh, but they gonna put Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith in the untouchables.
Yo, like yeah, just imagine like Masood, like, hey man, Luther Burton, like we kind of doing all right. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like being able to trade him, but like I don't know because the logistics is not you're not contractually obligated to anything. You sign a contract in the NFL,
yeah,
and basically unless you got a no trade clause, which nobody
yeah.
does
What
in the
happened if the player
NFL.
just say, transfer
Yeah.
portal?
Are you gonna trade me? Okay, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like teams can scheme too. Like, hey, we gonna trade you. All you gotta do is just don't play for them. Red shirt here and come back. We're gonna get you back.
Or they
Like,
could. What somebody want to
hey,
sabotage?
say Carson Beck is on the board.
Like what if somebody want to sabotage? Like what if a team want to trade?
Ooh,
Like what if Michigan State want to trade like I don't know Nick Marsh to
Nick
Ohio State
Marsh.
just so they can have a better chance of beating Michigan type stuff.
Right. Player for player,
You
money
know we're not
aside.
gonna make it to a bowl game. Here y'all go.
But teams have to
Be our
agree
rival.
to either match or improve NIL/scholarships. Scholarships. I like that. If you're gonna open up Pandora's box, and Pandora's box is slightly open, but if you want to kick that open, trades, like you said, money aside.
Hey, are we trading coaches too?
Whoa. Well,
They-
what would Florida do to get rid of that that Napier contract, bro? Like, hey,
oh man,
we will trade
hey, you know
you.
what? We might throw in DJ Lagway.
Yeah, right. We'll trade you. We're throwing DJ Lagway. And what you need in return? Like, we just need 2 non-scholarship players and we Gucci. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that. I don't know. I see you could be on to something, bro. I just from a logistical standpoint, you know what I'm saying? And I'm an analytical guy from a logistical standpoint, it gotta make sense for me. As an Iowa fan, trade for rents for a cold beer. Hey man, hey Carson Beck, my man Monty through Carson Beck. That's funny as hell, bro.
I'm telling you, if Illinois play Iowa this
Hey,
year, man, we smoke y'all.
D now, what would you be willing to trade him for? Like, because you guys got some amazing players defensively. Like, would you be willing to trade for rents and let's say your favorite player on your defense for like an offensive minded head coach? Like, would you make that type of trade? It'd be nice if they actually put trades in like college football 25. Yeah, that'd be cool too.
I'll be trying to exploit it so hard.
Me too. Like I'm trading all slow players for fast players, bro. Oh, you want this guy because he's 85 overall? Well, give me that 67 that's got 97 speed and 95
Yeah.
acceleration. I'll take him.
Be actually, I wonder what a trade back for Ashton Gentry would look like. Like with a team
Right.
that's like with a team that kind of need a running back, but
So
is
whatever
already
gets me a quarterback.
like like with a team that's like loaded but need a running back. Would they be willing to trade? Like, well, what if Ole Miss just said we got so many pieces?
Mhm.
We go get let's try to go get Ashton Gentry. Like,
What would they have to give up?
I don't know.
It would have to be a package, probably with Logan Diggs, Bentley, probably like
You could throw some of your
tight end Caden Prescorn, even though I like Caden Prescorn a lot.
Yeah, you could throw in like if you got a true freshman that's balling now, you can throw in true freshman that's balling now. You can throw in like two freshmen from your past, from your from this past class. You could throw in a key player from right now. Like, hey, like listen, we these two running backs. You know, these are two future players, and
right. Yeah, I will be cheating so much, like with the ideology of schools playing players, right? Paying players rather, trades happening with that, thus void the the whole NIL and maybe slow down the transfer portal, or would the transfer portal just be crazy if somebody gets traded to a team they don't want to be, play for?
somebody would have to be like, you know what, I don't want to play for this team. I'm going to transport. Somebody had to be like that.
Right. And yeah, some of these trades will have to get wrong unless
Hey,
like
who going to trade block first, Luke Fickle or Billy Napier? It'd be Billy Napier, right?
Luke Fickle or Billy Napier. It might be Fickle, bro. Like I want to say is Napier, but like based on how we felt about Luke Fickle, granted we both well, maybe I should speak for myself. I've always been a huge Fickle guy. I like what he did at Cincinnati. I like the culture that he brings.
I thought it was a good hire initially.
Yeah, but he changed so much of what made Wisconsin. That bell cow running back, them able to find these linemen, especially at the guard position, their ability to be agile, their ability to pull, and being able to run out of that I formation, like Braylon Allen was talking about. You change that identity, it is difficult. I'm not sure. Maybe Billy Napier, but I don't know. That's crazy. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this episode over with. As I always like to say, there are no more victories in the sport that survive in advance while college football is the greatest regular season. Until next time, you all take care. Thank you, chat. You guys were amazing. It was nice talking with a lot of you all. We will be live again Thursday, every Monday and Thursday, 6:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Overreaction Monday is coming up in about 45 minutes, man. You all don't touch that dial. Stay tuned. Y'all take care.